gamers, this is another case of Genshin could never, because today on Zenless Zone Zero's Twitter page, they have released, or I guess talked about, upcoming changes they're going to make. They actually listen to the community, it seems like. So we're going to be going over this Twitter post today, seeing every change that's coming to the game, see what changes I want to see coming to the game that they don't mention here, and everything like that. Now, what are some initial changes that I think players wanted coming in here, right? First of all, we hated the TV system. Players hated the TV system, right? They wanted a big change to that. So hopefully we see a change with that here. Combat, people were complaining about everything being too bullet spongy, not enough challenging combat, and then also not enough control within combat. That was also another big thing there. But mainly the main two things were like TV systems and then also the challenge of combat in the game, because everything was button mashy, so you actually didn't need to take use of like lower levels, or I guess deeper mechanics of combat. So let's go ahead and go over this today. Hi proxies, since the official release of Zenless Zone Zero, many enthusiastic proxies have been attached to New Eridu. To visit and explore, we would like to thank each and every proxy for their interest and support. Yeah, you guys have been getting a lot of shit, not gonna lie. The Wuthering Waves community has been on your ass, trust. As a creative team eager, and honestly the Genshin community as well, as a creative eager to showcase our unique style and content to every player, we're constantly thinking about how to shape the city of New Eridu and bring its daily life closer to everyone. Every time we see how characters and stories resonate with you and how eagerly you are waiting for more content, we truly feel that the city is becoming more real and alive. I will say, like, I don't really pay attention to the story in it, and honestly, I felt like the first couple chapters, or not my bad, the first like couple hours of like story were very sleeper. I did enjoy the cop storyline a lot. I guess chapter 2 interlude, maybe that's what it is. I like the cop storyline. It was pretty cool. The animations, they were really nice. I am still going through chapter 3 right now. I haven't had much time to play, but I have been enjoying that. Anyways, throughout this journey, we have also realized there are many areas in the game that need further refinement and optimization. We have received invaluable feedback from you. Yes, I'm sure you have, such as improving the connection between the HDD TV mode and combat experience. True, take the TVs fucking out, bro. I think you should be leaving the TVs to the modes where, the exploration modes, I guess you could say, right, where the actual TVs are a puzzle system more so than actually like doing something in the story, right? I think the story mode should be more like the rallies. There are not enough rallies in the game, honestly, and I really enjoy doing the rallies. I think changing the rallies to like, that's like a stage-based like system, right? I think changing stuff to rallies instead of having the TV system for the main story would be really, really good. I do like the TVs for Hollow Zero and the exploration mode where it's like puzzle-ish like, and then also the, you know, the roguelike mode they have. But I think other than that, they should be changed. Offering more and diverse challenging combat options and optimizing some repetitive exploration experiences. Okay, so I wonder what the repetitive exploration experiences they're talking about are here. In the first issue of Redo Renovation Talk, we'd love to discuss some of our plans. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into it here, guys. Optimizations implemented in version 1.1. So this is going to be very soon, actually. So as soon as, what, Zhu Yuan's, whatever her name is, banners up, we'll be getting these changes. And number one, in terms of the narrative experience in the latest story missions of version 1.1, for the first time, you will be able to interact with New Eridu's neighborhoods and fight through levels to advance through the story's progression from the perspective of the mission's protagonist. So, does this mean they're changing the TVs? Okay, so what is it talking about here, right? So, you interact with New Eridu's neighborhood and fight through levels to advance. So that means instead of going through the TV system, you'll be walking around the town and doing missions and fights throughout the town. And then when it says the perspective of the mission's protagonist, so that, does that mean, like, we'll be using the characters, like, in the mission? So say, like, the girl, the katana girl with the ears, I don't know her name, katana girl with ears. Say we can use her in the story if she's introduced in the story, or maybe we use like a Lycon if he's like the main protagonist in the story. Is that how it's gonna work? I think that would be really interesting though. I don't know how I feel about like exploring the city and doing the quest like that. I really would just like it to be a rally mode. I feel like rally mode, you have combat, like smaller mobs in between, and then you talk to a person here, go through a cutscene. Oh, you're over here now. Oh, then you do this, go through battle, cutscene again. Oh, and you're there now to do that battle. I think that would be a lot better than going through the city and talking, because while you're still walking and talking, I feel like the battling concept is really what we want. We want there to be more combat. We want to be exposed to the combat more versus going to TV screens or even just like talking to people all the fucking time, okay? But I think it is a pretty good idea to give players a chance to play as these characters maybe they don't have on their account through a trial mode through the story. I think that could be really good, especially for selling new characters. Have them have early access to these characters and be able to replay that over and over and over again. I think that's going to be really good if they were to do something like that. Anyways, a button for manual chain attack mode will be added to the squad lineup interface. Well, they already had this in like the betas and they took it out. I think manual chain attacks is super good, especially if you're trying to land certain combos. But let me continue reading this. Additionally, a cancel chain attack combo function will be added to combat, allowing you to choose whether to use manual chain attack mode according to your preferences. Now, this is good because it allows you to chain combos better, right? Or there are certain combos where you don't want to switch to the person after breaking the shield, right? Say you just want to, you know, eat up the enemy's HP because you know they have that bar, right? It's flashing and that indicates whether you can swap to another person or not. So instead of swapping, why not keep our person there and then swap at the last second when that bar gets down to the lowest point possible, and then you kind of extend that stun meter a little bit more so you can optimize damage that way. This will also allow you to, let's say, break out a combo, right? Then you swap into your Rina, and then you break with Rina, and then everyone else comes out, right? So that means you can use her skill versus having to go throw her things out. You're not able to use her EX skill, or maybe you throw them out and then you want to cancel it there, use your EX skill, and then maybe it brings you back into it. I think that would be really cool. I do think this is a really good mechanic that they're adding back into the game that they've had in there since the game came out. But my main gripe here is, who's ever going to use this, right? Like, if the combat is not harder, and I mean, and when I say harder, I mean in terms of not only bullet sponginess, but enemy movement. This is not going to matter because you can just spam your way through it. There needs to be circumstances where you do not want to swap and be able to take full use of this, right? Like, I think the in-game needs to be deep enough to a level where it makes you use a deeper level of combat to actually beat the shit in the game, right? Like, Shield defense, you shouldn't be able to blindfold yourself like Mr. Pokey and just spam dodge, and beat everything in the game, right? I think it should require some brain work going into it to actually make you do that, because the combat can become really repetitive if that's the only thing you're doing, right? I think they need to make players use the deeper level of combat what's in the game, right? Like, take Weathering Waves, for example, right? You can do all these extra mechanics in Weathering Waves, and I believe that they're going down the path of making you use deeper combat mechanics to further enhance your experience in the game and also to make you beat the enemies in the game, right? So I think that's the direction ZZZ needs to go down, because they are a combat-focused game, so please make it combat-focused and make us actually use the combat, because the thing is, if you don't make people use that combat or use that deepness of combat, people are just gonna not use that deepness of combat. Like, it's that simple, right? They're gonna take the laziest approach possible. Don't expect people to, oh, I could do this and this and this, when it's like, well, I can just beat it faster if I just spam this, right? I think as long as we're making players take deeper levels of combat mechanics into account, then that will be a really good thing. Let's continue here. In terms of combat, we have added a series of challenging combat missions and game modes that will continuously update. All proxies are welcome to try them out in the new version. Now, when they say a challenging combat missions, right, does it mean like the challenge mode where they just increase the HP pool and do nothing else? I hope to God not. Please increase enemy attack frequency. Please increase enemy variety in battle. Maybe throw more enemies at you. Make enemies actually move around the field so there's not in one spot and you're doom, 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 every single time, right? Please, I want more frequent attacks from my enemies, and this, honestly, I think should only be added to in-game modes, because of the fact when you're farming, right, you don't want to be there sitting and doing, like, super complex stuff, but for your in-game modes, make people actually have to play the game, you know? I hope to God they do that. In Shield defense, we have improved the display of enemies' attribute resistance, making it easier to select suitable agents. Yes, gosh, okay, I mean, I guess that's okay. Oh, yeah, because you do have to click in to actually see the enemy's resistances and stuff like that. And when I go in there, like, oh, let me bring my Grace in here, and Grace has gray damage, I'm like, this is cringe. But this is going to be pretty good, I think, right here. Also, I would like to have, like, set teams, like, bring team sets. So if I want a team, like, have a preset with Grace, right? My Grace team preset, my Ellen team preset, my Zhuyuan team preset. I want all those presets added too. I hope to God they add something like that. In Shield defense, we've improved. Oh, I already read that. After unlocking a new agent, the internet avatar. Okay, so we get avatars. I mean, cool, I guess. I don't really give a shit, but I guess cool for some people. The battle interface on mobile devices can allow you to customize certain UIs buttons within the preset plan so you can control. Oh, that's really nice. I play on mobile a lot. I actually play this game on mobile quite a bit. Because I just haven't been on my computer, so I've been playing at my parents' house or like, hanging out with family, like on my phone, and I really don't like doing like other things, right? Like, okay, for example, right, guys, I'll show you. I have the Galaxy Z Fold or whatever, and it can be kind of weird, like pressing dodge and stuff like that, because my fingers sometimes can't reach the dodge button. Like, the dodge button is like right here, and my finger like be coming out to like right here, and I have to stretch my finger across the phone. I have small hands, so you know what that also means. But other than that, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, my fingers are kind of small, so if I could make them more bunched up, I guess it would be kind of nice. And then on top of that, like the swap button as well. Swap button's kind of an inconvenient location, so if I could maybe expand the swap button up a little, bring that other button in a little bit, I would like something like that. Or maybe just move some more controls to the other side of the screen or something, I don't know. Optimization is expected for 1.2, so they're giving us some optimizations for 1.2. For completed story commissions and exploration commissions with uncollected rewards, we will be adding fairy assistance feature. Okay, once you meet a certain requirement, you can hand these missions over to the fairy and receive all uncollected commissions. I have no clue what that means at all. Let me know in the comment section. I don't know what uncollected commissions are. While exploring the motion array, the automatic accelerated playback, oh, the monitor array, so I'm assuming that's a TV system, right? When enabled, will not be interrupted by other events. That is going to be really nice. If we can't be interrupted by other stupid-ass events, that, yeah, please God. Preset lineup. Just said it, boys. Yeah, preset lineups, yeah, absolutely amazing. Okay, so it's only for Shiyu defense, which I guess that's really all you need it for. I would like it to be used in everything that you can do, but yeah, Shiyu defense is the main thing that I would like it for. Okay, after reaching internet level, a feature allows you to freely change time. I guess that beats going up to the bedroom. I mean, it's really only used for like story mode and side quests, so I guess, sure, right? Based on your feedback, we have optimized the background brightness in some commissions. Okay, I never really noticed it, but sure, go off, King, I guess. Optimizations to be expected to be implemented in later versions. Currently, you can only control the wide ability in the city. Okay, so that means that they are going to allow you to, what? Okay, so they'll be able to allow you to control their characters, which is nice. I feel like you should be able to control the characters you pulled in the city. I feel like it gives you a greater connection to that character to see them on the screen all the time. They're improving the models for some agents and provide proxies with an improved visual experience. I think the models look pretty good right now. Like, in terms of, like, the quality of the model, I feel like the models look pretty good. I guess sometimes the faces get kind of wonky on some characters. Like, Coletta, for example. I feel like Coletta's face gets kind of weird when she's in battle versus, like, her, like, pre-battle screen or whatever. Yeah, maybe some optimizations, but I feel like most of the characters look pretty good as is in terms of, like, graphical fidelity and quality. We will continue to optimize the interface interaction experience and combat experience UI. All proxies are welcome to explore the game further. Let us know any suggestions. Yes, this is good. I am glad they're listening to our feedback because honestly, well, let's be honest. Honkai Star Rail listens to feedback. ZZZ listens to feedback. I feel like Hoyoverse is not as bad as everyone makes them out to be in terms of like the dev teams. I'm not talking about the company overlord as it is. I'm talking about the dev teams. I feel like the HSR dev team and even the ZZZ dev team with just this alone makes them a better than Genshin's dev team, obviously, because Genshin doesn't really listen to anyone anyways, that's besides the point. But I feel like Hoyoverse gets a bad rap for not listening to the community, when I feel like at least two of their games, I even think Honkai Impact the Third listened to their community. I feel like Genshin just gives a really bad rap for the rest of the dev teams. But yeah, I completely agree with this. I like this. This is great. This is going to improve the game a lot. Now, is this everything that I want to see with improvements? No, absolutely not. I want to see I guess, more in-depth talk about what the combat mechanics are changing, right? What are they changing with the combat? How is it going to be more challenging? Because this is really vague. More challenging? Make them more bullet spongy? Make them do a little bit more damage on their attacks? I want harder combat. Like, when I say harder combat, I don't want to get in there and get one shot, right? Sorry, guys. I had like a phone call there. I don't even know what I was talking about before. But, so yeah, I would like to see what improvements they're making to the combat. I think that is realistically the biggest thing they need to do, right? And maybe make the TV modes better for early game players, because I feel like the entry point for a lot of players is going to be very sluggish, slow, and I feel feel like the ramp up of difficulty needs to be a little bit faster than what it is right now. Even though there's not much difficulty as of right now, it's very bullet spongy. I think there needs to be a ramp in terms of like difficulty with the enemies. I just think the enemies are the issue right now. That's my main gripe with it, okay? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you want to see change with Zenless Zone Zero gamers? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, and maybe they'll just listen to it. We'll make another video talking about everything that needs to be changed with Zenless Zone Zero. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video, gamers. Hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one later. Bye!